Welcome back to Bleeding Blue, brought to you by Talking Giants and John Boy Media. I have never said that yet, and I kind of take a lot of pride in that. This was originally kind of my show, and now we're on John Boy Media. I kind of started a podcast because of John Boy Media. I haven't said that yet. Welcome back. This is a New York Football Giants history show, history podcast, and with me today is one of my best friends, Nikki Snacks. How are you doing? Happy Valentine's Day. Happy day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, buddy. I'm doing well. I'm not angry.
Good.
Not yet. That's
I'm
good.
not, and there's no reason. I'm really there. I'm being genuinely serious. There is no reason I'm going to make you angry this episode. There's nothing going to be that's out of the blue. So I'm sorry to everybody that I like to see you mad. So I'm apologizing to myself.
Well, it's you should apologize to yourself and to the viewers because I'm starting to think nobody likes me because last week I think I dropped like 60,000 F-bombs.
It's the fact that we didn't get so many like bad comments. We got maybe like one or two, and those,
whatever.
Go listen to the clean content on Talking Giants. That's boring. This is the really fun content.
This is authentic, but I have a number that I wrote down in front of me. Actually, I'm going to write it here too so I can see it.
A cell phone number? Is this your Valentine that you're going to call at the end of the show?
No.
Okay. Sure. The number 12.
12. That's how many F-bombs I'm allowed to drop. If I go over 12,
I defenestrate you.
I'm fucking done. There's one.
I defend. There you go. There you go. All right. So what we're doing today, day after Valentine's Day. So we're getting creative with some of our episode topics. And the theme today is the players that we love. LOVE, love. And because of how great of people Snacks and I are, we have a lot of room to love in our hearts. Our capacity to love things is very, very big. So Snacks, we have a list of 10. We have a list of 10. It's not going to be like Snacks Pantry where we're going to guess. We're just going to say it. But then also, I have 15 other honorable mentions. I think you have more.
24.
You have 20, so you have like 35 people.
Yeah.
Why don't you list off 10 honorable mentions, and then I'll list off my 15, and then you can finish off. Does that make sense, or should we just do it all in one?
Nope. That makes perfect sense. All right. So I guess I could break it down kind of positionally. So wide receivers, there I have Ike Hilliard, Amani Toomer, Hakeem Nicks, Victor Cruz. So that's 4 honorable mentions right there. Then I have some special teamers that I'd like to mention because they're all good guys. Dominic Hickson, who is a receiver, but he was, a return guy. Ron Dixon. Willie Ponder. I only love Willie Ponder because he had a kick return against the Steelers, I think, in 2008. Maybe it was after that, before it. Either way, it's the only memory I have of Willie Ponder. Jeff Fiegels, the ugliest New York Giant of all time, but a great punter. Hideous-looking man. Brad Deluso, a very handsome Italian man. He was the
never
kicker.
Heard of him.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Kicker back in the day. He's Italian. He's a good-looking guy, so he gets the honorable mention.
Do you know how to spell his last name?
Daliuso, something like that. Daliuso. That's how
a fun
it's
name.
Pronounced. Yeah, great name. That pretty much covers the special team. I want to shout out Jared Lorenzen, the best backup quarterback in New York Giants history. May he rest in peace. Super Bowl champion, the hefty lefty. God bless his soul. I don't know how many I just ripped off. I think I said 7, 8.
Give me 3 more.
Madison Hedgecock.
Big
old cock.
I met him. A lot of these players that I have on my list, at least I think, maybe not, but I've met a lot of Giants because my father and I used to go to autograph shows when I was little. We have like an 07, 08 entire Super Bowl helmet. We also have an 87, an 86, 87, 90, 91 Super Bowl helmet all on one helmet. So I met a lot of these guys, and Madison Hedgecock's show, the autograph show, was in the middle of the summer. It was like at a fair. I was sweating we were sweating our balls off, and he was like in a tent. So that's my meeting Madison Hedgecock story.
Nice guy.
I don't remember anything about him because I was so goddamn hot. So I don't remember anything.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah.
So those are 9 or 10 of my honorable mentions with plenty others. So who you got?
All right, I'm gonna rip off all of my honorable mentions.
Rip them off, baby.
Jake Ballard,
Super Bowl champion.
Super Bowl champ. That moment where we defeated New England in the regular season, and that last drive where he had a couple big catches. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Chris Snee.
Yeah.
Will Hill.
Oh wow.
St. Peter's Prep alum. He would have been an All-Pro. He would have been a Pro Bowler if he didn't do the marijuana and if he paid his child support. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie.
Oh wow, that's a great one.
Our last good slot corner, but he also played outside too.
He was a great free agent signing. I love DRC.
Andre Brown. I have his jersey.
Touchdowns.
Antro Roll. I have his jersey. I loved Robert Ayers. I felt like he was the only good player on that 2015 defense.
Yeah, didn't he have 9 sacks that year?
Yeah, he had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Henry Hynoski. Yep. You're doing this. You have to say something.
Oh, yeah. Here, I'm talking and doing the rhinoceros, rhinoceros.
Oh, we would just get so excited when we're sitting in the stands and he would run somebody over.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be like, oh,
he was a ball of fun.
Yeah. Rich Soibert.
Yes. Big boozer.
Plaxico Burress.
Fuck him. That's 2.
Mario Manningham.
Hell yeah.
That 2011 postseason.
Yep.
Justin Pugh. I loved Pugh. I know a lot of people don't.
I hated Justin Pugh.
I know. I have his jersey from his rookie year.
He was such a little bitch.
But his positional versatility and going wherever we needed him to go when the Giants' offensive line was so god awful.
Okay, Kevin Booth did that.
Kevin Booth was not good. Justin Pugh was good.
Pugh wasn't that good.
Pugh was good.
He was as skinny as me playing the offensive line.
But that's why his versatility and what he was doing was so awesome. Is that he would just
go on? I don't want to
just do a million different things. He's still starting, by the way. So
what? In what? The Canadian Football League?
No, for the Arizona.
Yeah, I know where he plays.
Leonard Williams, honorable mention.
Really?
Nick Gates.
Really? Like he's an honorable mention. He's played a year and a half. He's an honorable mention.
I love him. He's a player I love. Because, whenever I have some sort of personal investment in a player, especially, now that I'm doing content the last couple of years, if I predict the rise of a player, I love them. So Leonard Williams, Nick Gates, and Dave Tollefson. That rounds out my honorable mention list.
Dalvin. Oh, you said Tollefson. Oh,
Dave
I thought you said Tomlinson. Okay. All right, those are pretty good outside of. See, here was my thing with Plax, because I could have easily put Plax in my top 10.
I thought he was.
It's not, because for all he did for us, and he did a ton, the best receiver in Giants history, even for the 4 years he was here, however, 3 years, what he did, shooting himself in the dick or in the leg, whatever.
Sure.
I can never forgive, because we would have went back to back. They were the best team in football. They were 11-1. They were the best. That was the best Giants team I've ever seen in my life.
They beat I think they beat both the NFC champion, the Cardinals, and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road that year.
They went to the road and beat the shit out of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
So I love play. I do. I love him, but I can't put him anywhere near. I could put him as an honorable mention. I just do not forgive him for what he did to me.
Yeah.
What if the rest of the Giants fans? I don't know what you think, but what he personally did to me, I will never forgive.
Yeah. He did change the trajectory of Eli's career. I mean,
without a doubt. Without him, Eli, I don't know if Eli ever takes that next step.
No.
So you hear that, Dave Gettleman? Go get our stupid moronic quarterback a wide receiver. So just some others that I want to rip off. Matthias Kiwanuka.
Mm-hmm.
Who we mentioned last week. Sean Williams. I don't know if you know Sean Williams.
Yeah, it was a safety.
Safety, yes. And the reason I say this, because first of all, he was always hurt. But for some reason, every year in Madden, he was always like over an 88 rating.
Yeah.
I don't remember him being that good.
And he was he was considered a strong safety, right?
Safety,
and then
yes.
Jabril Wilson would be the free safety.
Free safety. So I never understood that. But whatever. Sam Madison. I honorable mention because I always thought when we got Sam Madison, we got like the best cornerback ever. I think we got him from Miami, and he was very good in his prime. Reggie Torbor, great linebacker, spent some good years, Super Bowl champion. Chase Blackburn, substitute teacher. I have Fred Robbins, Keith Hamilton, we talked about last week. Kenny Phillips, who there was a point in time he was my favorite Giant. He was my favorite Giant on the team. I loved him, and what a shame it is that he got hurt because he was a baller. He was a baller. Who else we got? Jabril Wilson, we just mentioned. And Greg Camella, fullback. The 2000 team. He caught a touchdown in the NFC Championship game against the Vikings. And I love his last name. My mother's name was Carmella, and his last name is Camella. So pretty damn awesome, if you ask me. Another guy like Fred Robbins, who always looked tired, had bags under his eyes down to his lips. But those are my honorable mentions, and I don't think I left anybody off. Probably did, but Chris Snee, yeah, Seibert, Kareem McKenzie,
yeah.
That whole offensive line really can just be talked about because they were so great. Keith Bullock, for personal reasons.
Oh,
that's.
Do you want to describe why?
Yeah,
he's a player you love. You love to hate.
No. I just want to say his name.
Oh, okay.
I love to hate him.
Yeah.
So Keith Bullock was a very good linebacker for the Titans and signed with the Giants for a year later in his career. I think it was his last year in the NFL, and that was the same year I had my my sideline passes from my Make-A-Wish, and it's so funny saying back in the day, and he was the first Giant that I publicly eviscerated on the field. I cursed at him, screamed profanities at him.
You popped your eviscerating the Giants or eviscerating NFL players, NFL figures cherry with Keith Bullock.
Correct. That is absolutely correct. Normal Giants fans will go on the field and tell how they love all the players and whatnot. But no, I singled out Keith Bullock. I saw him and I started barking at him. Yeah, that was probably the demise of my on-field passes. But either way, whatever. Keith Bullock, fuck you. That's 3. Yeah, love to hate him. But those are the honorable mentions. So real good time.
I think we start at 10 and we go to 1, or do we start at 1 and then we go to 10?
No, it's 10-1.
Okay. Do you want me to start?
You start. I'm older. I get to decide.
Number 10, Hakeem Nicks.
I was wondering why he wasn't an honorable mention.
Number 10, Hakeem Nicks. I loved him growing up. I think just I go back and forth on who was I think Plax was more dominant, right? He had to be because Eli wasn't as good as a quarterback. It was also a lot more of a run-first offense. But just thinking about how Hakeem Nicks was physically dominant, like for his size. Now, Plax made it look easy because he was like, 6'5"? Yeah. So Plax made it look easy. But, for how, we typically think, wow, I'm going to look up Hakeem Nicks' height right now. Guarantee it's
6'2".
It's got to be. He is 6'2". You know that for a fact. That's your guess. I'm willing to also say 6'2". He's 6 foot. See?
Whoa!
See?
What?
Because of how physical he played, everybody talked about his hands.
Yeah,
because of how physical he was, you think that he's like 6'2". You think that he's 6'3", but no, he was 6 foot.
That's crazy.
He would go. I think Hakeem Nicks is the last guy on the Giants like ever where the end zone fade was really utilized consistently and you felt good.
And it could be. His hands are bigger than my body.
Yeah.
Probably our body combined. And the Dirty Bird celebration against Atlanta in the wild card game 2011 is something when I think of Hakeem Nicks, boom, that's it. Then the pass over the middle against Green Bay the next week, taking it 50 fucking yards to the end zone. The Hail Mary, a few plays. Well, I guess not a few plays, but you catch my drift. Hakeem Nicks, great call. It's a shame he got hurt too.
It was really only 2 seasons where he was very prominent.
He was dominant, yeah.
And then I feel like was it not the 2012 season where we played Tampa Bay and it was that big shootout.
He caught like 3 touchdowns, I think.
He caught like 3 touchdowns, but
On
that
what
was
looked like a bum leg.
that was also the same game where he got his ankles taken out, and he was never the same after that. And then he wound up retiring 2015. He made his way back to the Giants, stuff like that. So Pete, you all know the career trajectory of Hakeem Nicks. Snacks, who do you got at number 10?
Yes. All right. So I will get to one last thing about Hakeem Nicks. When he was drafted, I think 2010 or 09 maybe.
Yep.
Whatever. We needed a receiver in the worst way because Plax shot himself in the shot himself in the dick.
Yeah.
Which I will always believe. That was the guy I wanted. I think we drafted him 25th overall or something like that. And it's so rare when you want a guy and they draft him, you're invested in him. So that just little thing out of UNC. I love the fact that he fell to us. And I think the best receiver of that class, Darius Haywood-Bay was in there, Michael Crabtree. Either way, Hakeem Nicks, thank you. So number 10 for me, kind of an inspiration because in high school and throughout my childhood, I played defensive back. So you know where I'm going with this. Jason Sehorn.
Oh, yes.
Jason Sehorn. First of all, the miraculous interception against Philly in the 2000 playoffs, the divisional round. Just a ridiculous play. Me and my friends used to try and replicate it on the recess field, try and tip it up and go. Yeah, so that was great. I think he also had an onside kick return for a touchdown. I'm almost positive it was against the Jaguars. But Jason Sehorn, a white cornerback. I know it's 2021. Maybe I can't say it like that, but I mean, he was white and he was a cornerback, and there are no more of those. I don't remember the last time there was one. So kind of an inspiration player to me, and I still, to the life of me, don't understand why Jim Fossil had him returning punts, and the injuries kind of diminished his career. But Jason Sehorn was a great player for the Giants and one that I will always love. So Jason Sehorn, another handsome guy, by the way. Giants have had a lot of handsome players.
Yeah, he was like a
good-looking dude.
Didn't he like pose shirtless on some sort of magazine once?
I think he did, yeah. Yeah.
And my favorite Sehorn story, and we read about this in If These Walls Could Talk over the summer. He had an interception against the Lions, and his pants started falling down.
Yes. Great story.
It's my favorite Sehorn story.
Yep. So that Jason Sehorn, number 10.
Number 9, Kenny Phillips for me.
Look at this.
Number 9.
When I said Kenny, I did see your face. It kind of lit up.
Yeah. And again, so I'm biased as to where, if I get a jersey of you, if I have a jersey of you sitting in my closet, which I have a decent amount of jerseys. If you've seen some of my social media posts in the past, I've been very earlier in my childhood, my father and I, we would hit on a lot of guys. It's because we were winning. But recently we've been very I have an Andre Brown jersey. That wasn't really the best investment.
Oh, he did have a year with like 10 touchdowns. So that's fine.
He did.
You're okay.
He did.
With that.
I have 2 Odell jerseys. I have Olivier Vernon jersey. I have a Janoris Jenkins jersey. I have an Eli Apple jersey. I really thought that Eli Apple, after his rookie year, I'm like, he showed us enough, and then he lost his mind his second year. I still have this belief in the back of my brain that if he wasn't such a weird fucking person, and also I love mothers, but sometimes mothers that are smothering can ruin you, and
maybe mothers shouldn't be all over Twitter and social media when your son's in the NFL.
That's true.
Eli Apple's a very weird guy. How you thought he was ever going to pan out? I'm assuming this is just a hobby to you. See what I did there?
Good friend of the program, Carl Banks, once said that about me. So I have an Eli Apple jersey. There's a lot of other people jerseys that I have. Did I say Olivier Vernon? I got Olivier Vernon jersey.
Said that. Yep.
So yeah. But I have a Kenny Phillips jersey, and he's one of those guys where you remember him more fondly about the years that he had rather than actually when you look up his Pro Football Reference stat sheet and it's like, oh, yeesh. But he was another guy that always struggled with injuries. 2009, he played 2 games. That was his second year. His rookie year was pretty good. He had 16 games, but 67 tackles. And then really the only 2 years that were really prominent for him were 2010 and 2011. 2011, he had 4 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, 82 tackles, 59 of them were solo. So Kenny Phillips, I feel like he was good. I feel like he was all over the field. Clearly made some plays in 2011, helped us win a Super Bowl. So I'm biased after that point. So like you have a good year. That's also a common theme of my list. A lot of these guys, injuries, and a lot of these guys on my list have really one good year instead of like snowballing them.
One hit wonders,
yeah, hit wonders.
Like Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, one hit wonder.
Yeah. Kenny Phillips, number 9. Who's number 9 for you?
Yeah, Kenny Phillips, great player. Actually, if you're lucky, and if the viewers are lucky, with that charity event, remember I was telling you last week where I met Phil McConkey and Navarro and everybody.
Yeah.
I have a picture with Kenny Phillips, signed and framed, because they came up to me and they said, "Who's your favorite player?" And I said, "Well, it's Kenny Phillips." Like I said when I honorable mention, at one point he's my favorite Giant. A very bald and cancered Snacks with Kenny Phillips. We'll see.
We'll see if you find it.
Oh, I know where it is. I just don't know if I want to show you people.
Yeah.
But I guess you're probably already seeing it because this is not live. Okay, number 9 for me. Back when the NFL draft was longer than 7 rounds, we took Jesse Armstead.
Wait, the 11th round?
Yeah, I think it was I was going to ask you. I think it was the 11th round. Jesse Armstead. First, so 9 and 10 are back in the day when I first started watching the Giants, or when I really vividly remember. And he was an absolute machine, a tackling machine. I think he had over 152,000 tackles a year, or so it seemed. And, he was the anchor in the middle of that defense. And
it was the 8th round. My apologies.
8th round. Okay. Either way, 11 sounds better. So the 11th round pick, Jesse Armstead, just great smile, great player. He kind of did it all. And he's one of those guys where when you first start watching, you see everything going on. And in the Super Bowl, he had a big play that got that son of a bitch, Keith Hamilton, he was holding. That changed the whole fucking game. I just realized that. That's 4. God damn it. All right. Either way, Jesse Armstead is number 9. I love the name Jesse Armstead. I love the fact that he was such a productive player, such a great player for the Giants for a very long time. And he was an 8th round pick. So what great value, right, Will? But either way, Jesse Armstead, number 9.
I love how he's still here. He's like still in the building. He's still in the organization.
Right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he owns a car dealership around here too, in Englewood, I think.
We got to go.
Yo, Jesse, what up, bitch? What up, 8th rounder?
What manufacturer?
I have no idea.
We have to find that out.
I guess.
I wonder, does he not, can you not negotiate? Like, I don't know if I would negotiate with Jesse Armstead. I think
whatever he told me, I just buy it.
Yes, sir. Okay.
You could sell me a 95 Toyota Camry and you could charge me 80 grand. Okay, Jesse.
Number 8.
For number 8.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Wow.
Is he on your top 10?
Oh, yeah.
He is.
He's on there.
Do you want to reveal what number?
Our first crossover. Nope.
Okay. All right. We're not
because I have a little caveat with Ahmad. So
okay. He was my favorite Giant offensively growing up. My favorite Giant offensively. Now I have some other Giants offensive players that are higher than him. Because I think there's just some more sentimental value there. But I always enjoyed how hard he ran. Like, I liked Jacobs. I never loved Jacobs. And I know that's going to hurt you. I am an idiot. What else is new? But I like Jacobs. I loved Bradshaw. Just loved his tenacity.
Yeah.
The way that he played the game.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. I know this is your guy right here. He ran most of the time. He ran like Jacobs should run.
Correct. Correct. I totally agree. The Jets running over him in the Jets game.
That could very well be my favorite play.
Yeah.
Literally just barreling over Brodney Poole and putting him in a body bag.
Yeah. And the celebration too. The spike celebration always got me pumped.
He turned and boom.
Yeah. All right. I'm good.
I'm sorry. I kind of stole your thunder there.
I said my piece.
I kind of stole your thunder there. I'm very sorry. And 7th round pick out of Marshall. He came in. Never forget the 88-yard run in 07 against Buffalo to clinch the wild card berth, which in turn led to a Super Bowl. So Ahmad Bradshaw, 2-time Super Bowl champion.
That's where I love my starting running backs.
I'm sorry, what?
That's where I love my starting running backs.
That's where you love your starting running backs in the 7th round.
In the 7th round, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Orleans Darkwa is number 1 on this list. But wait, he wasn't even an honorable mention. No. Oh my God. Okay. I just, oh my God. All right. All right. Talked about him a lot last week. Barry Cofield. I mean, we spent so much time on him last week that I'm not really going to say too much about him, and I'm not going to do the taser again. Don't worry.
You lied. You just lied.
Of course I lied. Fuck him. Barry. Fuck. Oh, damn it.
How many are you up to?
6. I only got 6 more. Barry Cofield, everything about him. I love him. And I think I'm going to call him after the show. So
Sure.
Barry Cofield, number 8.
Number 7, Marcus Golden.
Oh my, this is unbelievable.
Why?
This is players we love. No. You're right.
It's players we love. You can't.
You're
right. Can't dispute the players. I didn't say shit about your snacks pantry list last week.
It was perfect.
It's true. If I argued with that, I would have been eviscerated.
Exactly.
Number 7, Marcus Golden. Again, I was, the same thing with Leonard Williams. If you, especially as a content creator, and if you like publicly make the take of this player will be good, if you say it on a show, if you kind of predict it, if you really highlight him. I highlighted Marcus Golden a lot because I kind of looked at his advanced stats from what he did in Arizona the year before he tore his ACL. I'm like, this guy's good. And he got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And it's actually thanks to your partner and BDGE Nick. Nick always says the fantasy football data shows that 2 years after you tear your ACL, that's when you're going to have like your peak year as a football player. And that was the case for Marcus Golden in 2019, double-digit sack guy. I met him. I'll put up a picture right now. His father's a great guy. His father followed me on Twitter. I was like one of the only ones that was highlighting how good he was going to be. And then his father was like, hey, you want to go meet Marcus in the family tent after the game? And I was like, yes. And then I also met Daniel Jones too, which was cool.
The personal touches there, like Marcus Golden. I liked Golden a lot. Everybody's like, oh, he gets his sacks from the quarterback holding on to the ball.
Can I say something? Because I can't say this on Talking Giants. I can't fucking stand those people.
Yeah, baby.
They fucking complain all the time that we don't have pass rushers. We don't have pass rushers. Oh, but Leonard Williams gets 10 sacks and they're all coverage sacks. Marcus Golden gets sacks and they're not coverage sacks. What do you want? What do you want?
Do you want the sacks or no?
Yeah, all right. Let's just go and get dog shit players again, so you can complain for a year. Go ahead. I can't stand it. People are never satisfied. Giants find a 10+ sack player, and he's not good enough because he gets coverage sacks. Come on.
I'm with you. I was big Marcus Golden fan. No, what are you sorry for? This is brilliant. This is the Justin I try to get out. That inner demon in you. That miserable, self-loathing fuck I'm trying to get out.
Good Fleetwood Mac song, My Little Demon. Who's number 7 for you?
Number 7, Antonio Pierce.
Okay.
Captain in the middle of the, of a great stretch of Giants. The great stretch of Giants period. I mean, I guess it was great. Couple playoff berths and great free agent signing. I really wanted to think about. Actually, he is the only player on my list that was not drafted by the Giants. And I mean, Eli's obviously on the list, but I'm not counting him not being drafted by the Giants, whatever. He was a Giant on draft day. Forget about it. No, but Antonio Pierce was an outstanding middle linebacker, in my opinion. He was a great tackler. He was a leader. He was the voice of that team. And for a team that had a lot of talent on that defensive line, he clogged everything up. When the Giants haven't had linebackers really before Pierce since Armstead.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Barrow was good, but he was like a tackle machine, but he wasn't, he wasn't really much of anything after that. But Antonio Pierce was a very, very good Giant. And first of all, I loved his, I guess they call it drip nowadays, like what you wear, like swag. Yeah, it's not swag anymore. It's called drip. He had great drip. He had that beast face mask, like the long one the linebackers wore. He had the clear visor, the eye black. He always wore his sleeves up to here. He had the wristband, the wrist tape, the glove. And he was a little chubby. Like
he was a little chubby too.
He was a little chubby. Like he's got a fat face, nice bald head. I loved Antonio Pierce. He's a great player, and I'm glad we stole him from the Redskins, and I'm glad he finished his career. I'm glad he finished his career with the Giants because I think that's where He deserved to finish it. He probably had another. I guess he had a bad neck injury.
Yeah, he
right?
had a bad neck injury. A lot
Yeah.
of these guys, it's so crazy. There's some of these guys on my list. So many guys for the Giants could have had a lot more years with them, and they
And they
got cut
didn't.
off by
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah. And so you were talking about jerseys before. I'm not really a jersey guy outside of New Jersey. I am a New Jersey guy. But football jerseys, I don't really buy. Like I have 3 Eli's, I have a Strahan, I have an LT. I threw out my OBJ one, which I do. I'm sorry. I'm going to go on a little not a tangent, but we should mention him. He was really phenomenal.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Now I feel bad that I didn't put him on my honorable mention list because he was so fun.
He was so damn good. It's unbelievable how. And I don't like him. Like I don't give a shit that he's not on this team anymore.
Yeah.
But I do think he should be mentioned. But yeah, I had a Pierce jersey. I still have it in my class. I don't get jerseys, and he was a guy that I truly did love. So Antonio Pierce, number 7.
Number 6 for me is Orleans Darkwa. Yep. He was I don't know what to say. He was the most efficient running back in the National Football League in 2017. And this is from the NFL Next Gen stat, the efficiency metric that they use to, I don't know, fucking measure how efficient a running back is. All right. With the god awful, what's the opposite of God? Dog. with the dog awful offensive line, Orleans Darkwa had an effective and an efficient 2017. And I know that team was garbage and blah, 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 blah. But if you're talking about bottom of the barrel New York Giants production and bottom of the barrel New York Giants football, Orleans Darkwa was a part of it, but he certainly wasn't a cause of it. And I loved him. I wish he was around for a little bit longer. I think again, another guy that had a fucking injury. He got hurt, and that's why we didn't bring him back for 2018. Now, obviously, the Giants aren't drafting Giants are not keeping, they're not drafting Saquon Barkley because Orleans Darkwa was there. Like, oh, we can't touch that spot. But I will say there's one player who I like more that wears number 26. They both wore 26.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Wow. The best number 26 in Giants history.
I agree. This includes Andrew Roll.
That's another guy I left off my honorable mentions. Andrew Roll.
He was on my honorable mention.
Yes, he was. Joe Jaravicious too. I forgot him.
Wait, never mind. Campbell? I lied. Andrew Roll was not on my honorable mentions. Yeah, no, yes, he was. No, yes, he was.
I heard you say him. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right. Who's your number 6?
I'm gonna pivot here. I'm looking at my list. I don't know if you noticed during your Orleans Darkwa thing, I wasn't looking at you. I was listening, but I wasn't looking at you. I'm looking at my list here.
That's okay, because Orleans Darkwa was kind of irrelevant.
No, he's great guy. I'm going to put Antonio Pierce at 6, which I just said. So I'm going to go back to 7.
Uh-huh.
And I'm putting Dalvin Tomlinson.
Oh, boy.
I'm doing it. People ask, why do you love Dalvin? Why do you love Dalvin? I don't understand. Why do you love Dalvin? Guy hasn't missed a fucking snap. He hasn't missed a game. He's never injured. He's a great Giant. He's great in the community. Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee. Everything about Dalvin Tomlinson is great. He also wore a Lawrence Taylor t-shirt coming into training camp one day. Amazing, or a game. Amazing player, amazing man, beautiful, fat, disgusting looking human being who I love, who I pray to God we re-sign. So I'm going Dalvin at 7, Pierce at 6. There you go. You can do whatever number it is now.
Number 5, Jay Alford.
Oh, love this.
One play, one moment. That's it.
That's all you need.
That's it.
That's completely fine. And let's stick to Jay Alford's teammate. And you're probably going to hate this because he's definitely lower than where you have him. Osi Umenyiora, number 5. Top 5. Just come on.
Let's not say anything about him yet. Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Osi Umenyiora, number 5.
Yeah, number 5.
Because I have a feeling we're going to be talking about him in a few minutes.
We're going to be talking about him. Number 4, Sean O'Hara.
Oh, wow.
I'm
sorry. I want to hear this because Chris Snee, he was an honorable mention, but you put Sean O'Hara up there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Again, you were a center in high school.
A personal touch. I wasn't a center in high school, but for most of my Pop Warner career, who fucking cares about our playing? But it's my list, my story.
I care. That's why I have just Jason Sehorn on here.
when I was playing Pop Warner for the longest time, I was a center, also a long snapper. Now, O'Hara wasn't a long snapper, but I was a center because also the way that it worked, I think, was I did the thing that no other kid could do. My father was like, "Hey, you're going to snap the ball because nobody else is going to do it. So you're going to do it, and you're going to do that for the team." And when you're small, snapping the ball is very important. Like, half the Pop Warner teams in America that are tiny kids, they can't fucking snap the ball.
Yeah.
It's like the big challenge. If you get that snap off, then the play can be somewhat productive.
Yeah, they put it between their legs and they hit their little pecker usually.
Yeah. Or usually shotgun. Shotgun was a disaster.
Oh,
I never fucked it up. I was awesome. So Sean O'Hara, I kind of looked up to him, and he signed that 07-08 Super Bowl helmet, and I'll include a picture in here too. I kind of walked up to him when I met him, and I was like, the center's the captain of the offensive line. I said something like that. So then for free, you usually had to pay for these inscriptions. For free, he put captain in quotations under his name.
Don't like it.
Sean O'Hara, but it's like right under the NY logo. So then I met some other of the offensive linemen. I don't know who, but I met some of the other offensive linemen. They saw it. They saw that he put captain in quotes, and they asked, "Can I take a picture?" And we're like,
"Oh,
yes."
They're probably gonna rip him.
Yes. So they probably had some sort of, I don't know if he had a group chat because we'd still had flip phones at the time,
right?
So I don't know if they had a group chat or whatever. But that was like, it's a cool moment that always sticks out.
That's so fun. That's a great story.
That for a day, the Giants offensive lineman from the 07-08 team were ragging on Sean O'Hara because of what he put on my helmet. So
that is hysterical.
Yeah.
Sean, he was a nice guy. I met him at the Michael K show, the holiday party at Miller's Ale House in Paramus.
I love Miller's.
I ran out. He left the bar and went to the parking lot, and I ran after him to take a picture. And he took one with me. He was like, "Yeah, man, sure." And I was like, "Thanks for 07." He goes, "Please don't thank me." And it was great. So very good. So number 4, another guy I should probably thank, Justin Tuck. What do I say about Justin Tuck that nobody doesn't know? The guy he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, has an argument to be a 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Just a terrific Giant, and to me the best speech that I've ever heard. I guess you could say pregame speech.
I got a ring.
I got. You don't know what it feel like, boss. You ain't got one. Justin Tuck, a terrific guy, terrific Giant. That was one I was a little salty that I kind of wish he played for one team.
Yeah,
I wish he retired a Giant. Yeah, one team, but he did nothing on the Raiders. Like maybe he played 2 years, had a few sacks. I think his most memorable moment as a Raider was him trying to get the team to call a timeout or something. I don't know if you remember this. It's like on Monday Night Football, and the whole Oakland Raiders were oblivious to the time management, and he was like, "Get on the line" or something, whatever it was. But that's besides the point. This is not Raiders history podcast. It's not bleeding black, it's bleeding blue. And Justin Tuck, number 4, a terrific Giant, terrific man. I love you, Justin.
Thank you.
Oh, fuck. Damn it. No.
How many? 7?
That's 7. I have 5 more to work with, and we're almost done.
We're almost done. I think you're going to do it.
We're going to have a shitstorm, baby. And no, I don't love you. I love Justin Tuck.
Number 3, Jason Pierre-Paul.
That's another guy I forgot to mention on my honorable mention, but as we talked about last week, I'm still salty about. I cannot believe you put him at number 3. I'm almost disgusted, but go ahead and give your reasoning.
I mean, that 2011 season was just insane. I mean, he also had an insane 2014 season too. But I mean, dude, 86 tackles, 86 tackles, 66 of them solo.
That's more impressive than the 16.5 sacks, by the way.
And this is also this is also coming from a 4-3 defensive end. There wasn't, Giants weren't adapting the edge rusher mentality yet, where I can understand maybe an outside linebacker who drops back into coverage also gets a lot of tackles. No, this dude was flying around the football field. He was everywhere. So, I mean, it's just an insane year, an insane athlete. And it was awesome to see him during the Super Bowl too. I will say during this most recent Super Bowl, he still has that motor. The motor of I'm going to make the play no matter where it is. I'm going to chase. How old is he now? He's got to be in his 30s.
31.
He's 32.
32.
He's 32 and he's still chasing guys down like he did in
Man.
2011. So
he's 32. You remember when he was drafted and everybody's like, he's a project. He's very raw, all these different things. Now he's 32 winning another Super Bowl and he's 8-0 in the playoffs.
And he has 7.5 fingers and he broke his neck.
Crazy. You know what? They were right when he came out of UCF, I think it was, or USF, whatever, South Florida.
I got it confused. I think it's UCF.
Yeah, wherever he came from, they talked about him being just a raw athletic freak.
Yeah,
and he is an athletic freak. I am very salty about JPP. It's why I left him off, but he does deserve mentioning. I don't think he deserved to be number 3 after a fucking year or two.
Yeah,
but
god awful defense in 2011, and then he really did change that season.
Without JPP, honestly, without 2 players, I'm obviously fucking quarterback, but without JPP, that team never wins anything.
No.
So I can respect it. All right, number 3 for me. This is, I'm just going bonkers on my list. I don't know if this is acceptable, but guess what? I don't really give a fuck.
8.
Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. Both. Number 3. Package duo. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I don't remember. Earth, Wind, Derek Ward was one of them. I don't remember. Either way. The real Thunder and Lightning. The real Thunder and Lightning. Brandon Jacobs and Ahmad Bradshaw. Both 2-time Super Bowl champions. Both great running backs. Like we said, Bradshaw ran like Jacobs should. I don't know why Jacobs tried to finesse people, but he got the biggest 4th down conversion in Giants history. Ahmad, a big Super Bowl touchdown. I love those guys. There's a picture of like Ahmad going like this and Jacobs like this. You can find it on Google, I'm pretty sure, and I want you to put it up here now. And I love, everybody knows how I feel about Brandon Jacobs, or at least you know how I feel about Brandon Jacobs. I almost consider him a friend. Really, I threw Brandon Jacobs a retirement party in my house with all my friends. It was like 30 people here. I threw him a retirement party. I tweeted him. I'm like, Brandon, I'm North Jersey. We're throwing you a retirement party. He goes, he tweets back at me. He goes, man, I wish I could be there. I'm in Atlanta. I would have definitely came. I was like, okay, whatever.
You had his number at one point.
I did. Yes. Brandon Jacobs. We were great friends. The best of friends. He used to wear my hospital band on his wrist. You could see it during the games. It was really cool. But I can't think about Jacobs and not Bradshaw. To me, they're always a dynamic duo, a 1-2 punch. And back when running backs that we cared about were drafted in the 4th and 7th round. But either way, Jacobs' hatred for the Dallas Cowboys will always get me fired up. His hatred for the Jets and Rex Ryan, when he went up to Rex Ryan and said, shut the fuck up, fat boy. Just nice. two guys that had all the heart in the world, and I loved watching them play, and I truly miss that intensity and just that pride to be, a Giant that they both showed. So Jacobs and Bradshaw, I'm putting as a duo at number 3.
You're also up to 9, by the way.
Oh, I have 11 guys on here. Yeah.
No, you're up to 9 F-bombs.
Oh, then I missed one.
You missed, yeah. You had 8, 9. Yep.
When did I say the other fuck? I guess that counts.
10.
Shit.
Number 2, Steve Smith. Snacks is leaving. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Can you just say what you just said?
Players that I love, Steve Smith is number 2.
See, I have loved so many players and players like a Steve Smith and stuff like this, but this is ridiculous. My list is so good. Go ahead.
I'm weird.
Yeah, you think?
I'm weird. Especially, watching the Giants now and thinking of, what we need and what's valuable. A guy that can move the chains on 3rd down and help you be productive on 3rd down is so, so valuable. And it was every freaking 3rd down. It was Steve Smith moving the chains, being that reliable guy for Eli. And when he had the opportunity, and again, I feel like this is another guy that his career was cut short due to injuries. When he finally had the opportunity to be the number 1 guy in 2009, Eli was never a high catch rate, like QB to wide receiver duo. That wasn't Gilbride's offense. That wasn't Eli's forte. if anything, remember when Ben McAdoo was hired, and when Ben McAdoo was brought in here to kind of work with Eli, it was, we need that completion percentage, up to like 70%. I remember there was like a line, we're going to get Eli's completion percentage up to 70%. That was never Eli's really MO. And Steve Smith in 2009 had 107 receptions on 157 targets. That's insane.
Crazy,
157 targets with the 70% catch rate. And 7 touchdowns. 7 touchdowns for a guy that's more of a possession wide receiver. Yeah, so that's an insane year.
Guy, yeah.
Insane year.
A fun fact about all those 107 receptions, they all came on third down.
All of them. He had a total of 220 catches on third down. Actually, this should be a fun. I wonder, no, they don't list. They do list first downs. He had 245 catches as a Giant, and 140 of them went for first down. Guarantee you, 100 of them are on third down.
Literally, I wouldn't be surprised. It's insane. He was very good in the slot and a great third down receiver. I just don't understand how he is number 2. I
love him.
Do you want to hear my number 2?
Who's your number 2?
Michael Strahan.
Michael Strahan was a dick to me when I met him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's why
I was gonna say, like, you didn't even mention him.
No, So here, we're late enough into the show. We went to autograph shows, and I was a child, and this is a Hall of Fame player that I'm about to meet on the Giants, and that's rare, meeting a Hall of Fame,
the best player on the team. Yeah.
Yes, you can argue, second most important player in Giants franchise history, but then also the most productive player in franchise history, because he did have more sacks than Strahan. He did have more sacks than Lawrence Taylor.
Strahan had more sacks than Strahan?
Yeah, Strahan more. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So I went up to him and I met him, and the guy that they usually have like somebody next to you that's taking care of all the tickets and stuff like that, making sure that the people aren't doing what they're supposed to do, so the player can just sign the autograph. And like, no pictures, and I couldn't shake his hand.
Yeah,
and I get it. Athletes, like, everybody has bad days, and athletes are allowed to have bad days, but not when you're working and we're paying you to fucking do something. Like, didn't allow me to take a picture, didn't allow me to shake his hand. So I think there's only been 2 times where my father has turned to, and you don't say this before they give the autograph. You have to say this after they give you the autograph. There's only been 2 times where my father has said "fuck you" to a player after they've given an autograph.
I don't think you told me that.
And it was Emmitt Smith, and it was Michael Strahan.
Wow,
2 players.
Good for your father, man.
Oh, you would love him. Oh,
good for him. Well, I met your dad once. Good for him.
Yeah, he's
good. I'm good for him. That's very. I have actually heard stories that Michael Strahan is a dick. He comes off as like this lovable guy on camera. He does Good Morning America, and he's on the Fox pregame show on Sunday. He hosts like stupid ass game shows. I could see it, like a fake. It's almost like a Steve Harvey type. You got the biggest smile
but
in the
I've also
world.
heard that he's nice. I've heard a lot of stories where he has been nice to like people in interpersonal interactions.
Maybe he was having a bad day.
He was. I guess he was, but still, like, you're working.
I see. I don't have a story like that, so I all I know is Michael Strahan, the player, and the player I loved him. I was there for his record-breaking sack, and I couldn't. What a fairy tale ending. You beat the 18-0 Patriots, and then you retire, and then go on to have an even more successful career after football. So, what a life. And number 1, I cannot believe you're putting OC at 1. Sorry, I just blew it.
Yeah.
Eli. Here's the thing. Even mention him.
Here's the thing.
No, there is no thing.
I put Eli at a higher tier. Like, he is a higher tier than number 1.
All right, maybe you read way too much into this because you put Steve Smith at 3. Maybe I just didn't take the ball and run.
Well, so what? Everybody knows that. Everybody loves Eli. I have a fucking jersey of him behind him. It's a signed jersey. It's fucking right here.
I have a tattoo.
That is true.
So how can I not put him number 1?
Go ahead. You talk about Eli.
No, it's just I love Eli. I love him. There's nothing wrong.
There's
about
nothing
Eli.
to say. Are you gonna cry?
I'm starting to. I hate Daniel Jones and I love Eli Manning. That it really hit me that. So the morning of the Tampa Bay game where Daniel first started was arguably one of the worst mornings of my life. I'm I'm not even kidding. Nick can confirm this. I got dropped off at his apartment and I was bawling.
Oh, there was a video made about this.
Bawling my eyes out.
I will find that video.
Yeah, it was really bad. Like I was legit crying. Uncontrollable crying. You would have thought somebody in my family just died. I was crying so much because I was just thinking of the fact that Eli's not starting. And I mean, what 15 years, 16 years, he was every single Sunday. You either get good Eli or bad Eli. There was really no in between. But 15 years, never missed a game due to injury, and just he's a perfect person. I met him once, and he was amazing. And I don't know what else to say. I fucking love Eli Manning.
Number 1 on my list. O.C. Umenyiora.
Uh-huh.
He was my favorite player growing up. I nicknamed him the Stripper in 2010. I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old in the stands of MetLife Stadium, section 315.
The Stripper, I love that.
And he had how many fumbles? He had 10 forced fumbles in 2010, which was almost it might have even been an NFL record. I made a video on it once. And
yep,
I tagged him in it, or no, I did this thing where, you know, the smart thing to do sometimes, a little content tip. You talk about a player in a tweet, you don't tag him, then you go to one of your other accounts, you tag the player, and then he'll see the tweet.
Then he'll see it. Very good. Tweet. Very good. I got a lot of burners. I got to start doing that.
Yeah. So there you go. So OC saw it, he retweeted it, then he gave me the follow. But also, I mean, OC was my favorite player growing up too. And I especially that 2010 season where I became, you know, was well into being a regular season ticket holder. 10 forced fumbles on 11 and a half sacks.
Crazy.
I mean, come on.
The strip sack, baby. The strip sack. Al Michaels used to love saying it. And there's Umenyiora again, a strip sack. Absolutely.
I mean, even in 07, he had 5 forced fumbles, 13 sacks. He had 3 seasons as a Giant, and one of them was due to one of them he missed because of a torn meniscus, but he had 3 seasons as a Giant with more than 11 and a half sacks.
Crazy.
Which is pretty good. Consistency over a long period of time.
Hell of a player.
Come here. We're about to wrap up. You said you're number 1.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Goodbye. Love you.
I love her.
What's the secret?
Goodbye.
Give her.
I love you.
Blow her a kiss from me.
Snacks is blowing you a kiss.
Love you, Snack.
I love you.
All right. So she said Happy Valentine's Day, which is very relevant to what we're talking about.
That's
all
perfect.
Right.
That was perfect.
That's our list. That's our list.
And you know what? Our longest episode, I could tell by I'm looking at Audacity. That was a ton of fun. Just ripping off players that we love. And I want to use my last 2 F-bombs, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Fuck you, Danny Behan, and fuck you, Bobby Skinner.
Whoa. What Bobby Skinner do? I can understand Danny Behan.
See, really, I would have thought the other way around. Bobby just out of the blue in the group chat will be like, I hate you. Like, what a miserable Florida fuck.
You usually get those messages during the season. Like, what did you do over the offseason?
I don't know. We had our best Simple Man radio last week.
We did. Maybe that's why he hates you.
Maybe. But that was a great episode. Justin, you can sign us off. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. And don't be too mean to me.
Next week we are starting Tom Coughlin's book.
Yep, A Team to Believe in, the journey of the 2007 New York Giants.
So starting that next week, we will see you next week. Keep on Bleeding Blue. Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, support Bleeding Blue. Follow us on everything. See you next week. Keep on Bleeding Blue. Goodbye.
Fuck.
That was 13.
I don't give a fuck.
14.